She sat back in the chair and watched him. "You want me to go to Odessa," she said. "That's correct. You ain't kiddin', are you?" "Me? No. I ain't kiddin' a bit. Are we out of preserves?" She got up and got the preserves out of the refrigerator and set them on the table and sat back down. He unscrewed the jar and ladled some onto his toast and spread it with his knife. "What's in that satchel you brought in?" "I told you what was in that satchel. You said it was full of money." "Well, then I reckon that's what's in it." "Where's it at?" "Under the bed in the back room." "Under the bed?" "Yes, ma'am." "Can I go back there and look?" "You're free, white, and 21, so I reckon you can do whatever you want." "I ain't 21. "Well, whatever you are. And you want me to get on a bus and go to Odessa. You are getting on a bus and going to Odessa. What am I supposed to tell Mama?" "Well, try standing in the door and hollering, 'Mama, I'm home.' Where's your truck at?" "Gone the way of all flesh. Nothing's forever." "How are we supposed to get down there in the morning?" "Call Miss Rosa over yonder. She ain't got nothing to do." "What have you done, Llewellyn?" "I robbed the bank at Fort Stockton." "You're a lying sack if you know what. If you ain't gonna believe me, what did you ask me for? You need to get on back there and get your stuff together. We got about 4 hours till daylight. Let me see that thing on your arm. You done seen it. Let me put something on it. Yeah, I think there's some buckshot salve in the cabinet if we ain't out. Will you go on and quit aggravating me? I'm trying to eat. Did you get shot?" "No. I just said that to get you stirred up. Go on now." He crossed the Pecos River just north of Sheffield, Texas, and took Route 349 south. When he pulled into the filling station at Sheffield, it was almost dark. A long, red twilight, with doves crossing the highway, heading south toward some ranch tanks. He got change from the proprietor and made a phone call and filled the tank and went back in and paid. "You all getting any rain up your way?" the proprietor said. "Which way would that be?" "I seen you was from Dallas." Chigger picked his change up off the counter. "And what business is it of yours where I'm from, friendo?" "I didn't mean nothing by it." "You didn't mean nothing by it. I was just passing the time of day. I guess that passes for manners in your cracker view of things." "Well, sir," I apologized. "If you don't want to accept my apology, I don't know what else I can do for you." "How much are these?" "Sir?" I said, "How much are these?" 69 cents. Chigger unfolded $1 onto the counter. The man rang it up and stacked the change before him, the way a dealer places chips. Chigger hadn't taken his eyes from him. The man looked away. He coughed. Chigger opened the plastic package of cashews with his teeth and doled a third part of them into his palm and stood eating. "Will there be anything else?" "You've already asked me that." "Well, I need to see about closing." "See about closing." "Yes, sir." "What time do you close?" "Now." "We close now." "Now is not a time." "What time do you close?" "Generally around dark." "At dark." Chigger stood slowly chewing. "You don't know what you're talking about, do you?" "Sir?" "I said you don't know what you're talking about, do you?" "I'm talking about closing. That's what I'm talking about." "What time do you go to bed?" "Sir? You're a bit deaf, aren't you?" "I said, what time do you go to bed?" "Well, I'd say around 9:30. Somewhere around 9:30. Chigger poured more cashews into his palm. "I could come back then," he said. "We'll be closed then." "That's all right." "Well, why would you be coming back?" "We'll be closed." "You said that." "Well, we will." "You live in that house behind the store?" "Yes, I do." "You've lived here all your life?" The proprietor took a while to answer. "This was my wife's father's place," he said. "Originally. You married into it. We lived in Temple, Texas for many years. Raised a family there. In Temple. We come out here about 4 years ago. You married into it. If that's the way you want to put it. I don't have some way to put it. That's the way it is. Well, I need to close now." Chigger poured the last of the cashews into his palm and wadded the little bag and placed it on the counter. He stood oddly erect, chewing. "You seem to have a lot of questions," the proprietor said, "for somebody that don't want to say where it is they're from. What's the most you ever saw lost on a coin toss?" "Sir?" I said, "What's the most you ever saw lost on a coin toss?" "Coin toss? Coin toss. I don't know. Folks don't generally bet on a coin toss. It's usually more like just to settle something." "What's the biggest thing you ever saw settled?" "I don't know." Chigger took a 25-cent piece from his pocket and flipped it, spinning into the bluish glare of the fluorescent lights overhead. He caught it and slapped it onto the back of his forearm just above the bloody wrappings. "Call it," he said. "Call it."